special assistants, heads of parastatals and agencies. Let me thank you for coming out today to join our media parley that happens every month. Special thanks to Abians who are joining us from their homes and offices. I want to thank you for all the support. Thank the media community for your continuous reportage of government activities. And thank you for holding the fort and remaining steadfast and resilient. Since the last time we met, a few things have happened. I will not take too much of your time, but I'll just quickly highlight some of them and then throw the floor open for questions and answers as usual. In the area of waste management, the Abia State Environmental Sanitation Agency continues to do a great job, for which we are very grateful. In Aba, in Umuahia, in Ohafia, and all the other local governments. We continue to cover them. And in the last 2 years and a few months, when we declared an emergency on waste management, our streets continue to get cleaner by the day. Wastes are collected and disposed properly. And our people have also signed on and have actually become the policemen to ensure that our environments are clean. We are now moving into the next stage of waste management, and that is proper waste treatment, recycling, and turning the waste into wealth. We've done extensive study. We find it's expensive, but then it's just like the challenge that some people give to those who claim that education is expensive. And the challenge will be try ignorance if education is expensive. So while it's going to cost some money, but we believe that like it's been done in places like Austria and other parts of Europe, that will be able to turn the rubbish into gas, methane, and also power. So we have started engaging with potential partners. And then we also have some strong cooperation from some institutions that and industries that work in Abia State. So the partnership, some partnership agreements have been signed. So in no distant future, you would see us flag off West to Wealth initiative in the state. Another area I want to talk about is industrialization. While we were campaigning, we made heavy weather of bringing back a lot of the industries for which we were known in the past. The Star Paper Mill, the modern ceramics industry, Abia Textile Mill, and international glass industry, and a few of them. Like I had reported in the past, the Star Paper Mill in Uwurenta and Aba are now in the bag, having concluded and accepted the offer from Asset Management Company of Nigeria, Asset Management Company of Nigeria, AMCON. Recently, we also concluded, and our offer has been accepted also for Afro Beverages. I believe it's on Port Harcourt Expressway. The company is still running. It's a going concern. But then today is owned by AMCON. So we have made an offer that has been accepted, and we are going to pay AMCON in 7 installments, starting from next month. But as soon as all the paperwork is completed, we will take ownership of those companies. Now, the whole idea, like I had always maintained, is not for us to run or even own them. But we believe that government is an enabler. And I'm sure that if an individual went to acquire those companies, they will probably not succeed. So the idea is acquire those companies, get experts to come in and partner with government to run it as private institutions, get the GDP of the state to move northwards, create employment for our people, which is the most important to us, and then improve on the internally generated revenue and reduce poverty. I have also instructed the Honorable Commissioner for Industry and SME to begin to engage with the owners of Abia Textile Mill, international glass industry, and modern ceramics industry. In fact, I had joined a Zoom meeting with the people who bought Abia Textile Mill. And the whole idea also is that we want these companies to come back to life as major employers of labor for our young people. And education. We continue to push the frontiers. Like I announced last month when schools resumed, our new teachers have all been posted and they have started work. We started the process of hiring yet another set of new teachers. Interestingly, the way our schools consumed the 5,394 teachers, it was as if, you know how it is, somebody that is hungry. So one of the schools I visited last week, They said yes, the new teachers have resumed, but they are still short of teachers. And two things are responsible. One is that enrollment has increased dramatically, given the introduction of free and compulsory education at the beginning of the year. The other one is also that our school system has become more attractive, given the improvement in curricula, the improvement in infrastructure, and general ambience of our schools. So clearly, we were not wrong when our estimates show that we were short of 9,000 teachers in the first instance. So we started the process of hiring 4,000 more teachers. And hopefully, by the end of this year, we would have completed the process. Our foray into smart schools continue to move in the right direction. A lot of the schools are being retrofitted and put in a state where they can be called smart schools. As we speak, quite a lot of teachers are undergoing training because what is required in smart schools is not the regular thing you see in normal schools. The reports I get are that our people are actually future ready. So when you are training somebody who is interested, the kind of outcome will definitely be different from where you are training people who are reluctant. So the report I got is that our people are very excited and are actually trainable. So we want them to be ready by this time the schools are ready. Of course, the other schools in the different communities that we are renovating and rebuilding are also receiving attention. Some of the buildings, because we insist on integrity tests being run on any building that we want to renovate, we find that some of the buildings are in terrible states. And what we do is to bring those buildings down. There was one I saw on my way to somewhere, and I thought the building was looking good, but the experts told me that it failed integrity test and therefore had to go down. We don't want to hear any stories. Any building that is not strong enough for our schools will go down, instead of those buildings going down with students caving in when students are in them. So if in your community you see us pulling down schools or buildings in schools, it's because they failed integrity tests. We will not stop until we are sure that our schools are in such conditions that our children will comfortably and safely stay in and learn. In the area of power and public utilities, at the last count, we've installed close to 8,000 solar street lights in different parts of the state. I've just signed off on several others. So you will keep seeing us around your community, lighting up your streets under our project Light Up Abia. You will agree with me that anywhere light comes, darkness disappears, and things that thrive under darkness go with darkness. So we will continue. But beyond Light Up Abia, we're also doing things in the area of water, and also in microgrid. I'm sure you are aware that we signed the microgrid agreement with our partners not too long ago. Within the week, our offer to acquire the Omuahia ring fence from EEDC was accepted by EEDC. So what that means is that Aba is an island and Omuahia is an island. Omuahia Island takes care of the remaining part of Abia State, which includes Omuahia South, Omuahia North, Ikuano, Bende, Ohafia, Arochukwu, Isukuato, and Omunochi. So that means we have taken the bull by the horn, and we have everything about power under us. We set up the Asera, which you're also aware of. So we can now, the whole idea is when Aba power generates maximum capacity, which is around 188 megawatts, anything that Aba ring fence cannot use can be wheeled to Omuahia. Let me explain that a little bit more. At full capacity in Aba today, our estimate is that 80 megawatts will be enough. But let's even be generous and say that Aba will take 100 megawatts. So if Geometric has 4 turbines that will generate 188 megawatts of electricity, it means that there is excess power of 88 megawatts. Ordinarily, if we didn't do what we've done, those 88 megawatts will be channeled into the national grid. But because we've got control of the whole of Abia, those excess power, or that excess power, can now be sent to Omuahia. So we are envisaging a situation where in the next few months, we will also have steady power supply in Omuahia and environ. But in the interim, we're also working on Ohafia and Bende, 2 local governments that have not had power in a long time. And the real problem is infrastructure. So today we are drawing, I think it was over the weekend, that I signed off, so that we can draw the lines, fresh lines from Omuahia all the way to Ohafia. And of course, there is a line coming from Itu through Arochukwu. I believe that also needs to be upgraded. I think it's 11 kVA, and we are trying to upgrade it to 33, so we can have better capacity and minimal losses in terms of transmission. So it is good news in that area. I'm not an expert, but I'm learning. Some of the things I hear from the chairman of ASERA, chairman of the Electricity Advisory Council, and of course, Honorable Commissioner for Power and Public Utilities convinced me that there are better days ahead. And what is the idea? The idea is that we want to take power for granted. A lot of people who are into manufacturing, light manufacturing, and even heavy ones will tell you that their major headache is power, before we talk about the cost. So if we can take power for granted, then people can go back to what they are doing, manufacture, and sell. And that's why we are paying attention to that. We also have brought power back to Abia State University Abia State University in Uturu, and of course, Abia State College of Education Technical in Arochukwu. These are places that have been dealing with lack of electricity for a very long time. Some of the hospitals, primary healthcare centers, and even secondary healthcare centers have also benefited from renewable energy, mini-grids and all that, just to ensure that the issue of power is taken out of the challenges that people deal with. In terms of health, our functionalization of the primary healthcare centers continue, and the ones being built or being renovated or retrofitted by the World Bank, those also continue. I think there are 79 of them at the moment. And the whole idea, if you have visited anyone around your area, if you haven't, please, I encourage you to do. The whole idea is to ensure that people in every part of the state, whether you are in the village or you are in the township, that you can access quality health care in your area for minor and semi-minor ailments. Before you now begin to approach the general hospitals and tertiary hospitals, it should be when the issues become a bit more complicated and serious. So the reconstruction of the general hospitals and also tertiary ones are going on. We are taking them in phases. The first thing we did with the Abia State University Teaching Hospital was to do the first phase and got the teaching hospital reaccredited. And having moved past that, we are now rebuilding and building new structures to house what you expect of a teaching hospital. We are doing the same in Amachara. And of course, that of Umunato has just started, I think about 3 weeks ago. Feel free to walk into those places and also confirm that what we are saying is true. The recruitment of the 771 healthcare professionals is on the way. I think out of applications we have received, computer-based testing had happened, and oral interviews are being conducted at the moment. But there are areas where we didn't receive as much applications as we expected. So I instructed the Civil Service Commission to reopen the portal. So those who are interested, the portal is still open, even though the process is going on. I think from preliminary reports, we will have about 500 successful candidates in the first instance. There are technical areas we are not getting enough people, so we extended the date for application. Like I had indicated elsewhere, we were pleasantly surprised to receive applications from people who are not from Abia, people who are not from Nigeria, people who are from other parts of Africa. We got some applications from people in the Gambia, Zimbabwe, South Africa, and a few other African countries, and they are interested in coming to work in Abia. So, and that has made us very happy that people are looking at a reverse Japa to come to Abia and work. So if you do know people who are healthcare professionals, you need to call their attention that their website or the portal is still open. Of course, we did get some fake news about malpractices which we investigated and found to be untrue. So the recruitment process is merit-based and transparent. And we have zero tolerance for activities that are not in compliance with the standards that we have set up. On security, we continue to work together with the security agencies. We are lucky all our service commanders are on the same page with us. And we want to continue to keep this place as safe as possible. And every one of us is a chief security officer somewhere. Your home, your office, the space where you occupy. So like you said, if you see something, say something. Intelligence is the most important part of security. I can assure you that we have recorded quite some success because of intelligence. Before they strike, we strike them. And once you do that, sometimes they will think that that you have something that is telling you something. It's not true, it's intelligence. So please, I have delegated the function of Chief Security Officer to all of you, including those ones that are at home. So you are the Chief Security Officer of the space that you occupy. Call somebody. Call the police, call the army, call the DSS, call the mayor, call your councillor. All of us are working together to keep this place safe. The final one that I'd like to talk about are roads and infrastructure. We are glad that all of us were part of the commissioning of 8 roads in Aba, done by Mr. President through his representative, Honorable Minister of Works, His Excellency Senator Dave Omahe, who was here for a full day and actually passed the night here in Abia. Went round with us, started from Michael Opera Auditorium, which right now actually is befitting of the name Dr. Michael Opera. I'm sure some of you have not been there. I've instructed the organizers of this chat that next month's media chat should happen at Michael Opera Auditorium, so that all of us would appreciate the wonder that God did in that place. So those who have been there, including the Honorable Minister, he was very happy and was even asking us where we got some of the materials we put there. And then from there, we went to the 8 roads in Aba, High Point being Port Harcourt Road, and of course the Ohanku Road, Omuataku, and the rest of them. I want to thank our people who trooped out in their numbers to celebrate the president and celebrate the work that was done in Aba. I'm sure the way our people responded, I'm sure you agree with me that it terrified some people that 48 hours later, I think their panic drove them into some unusual behavior. But then that's who we are. If you do things well, we say you did it well. And if you don't do them well, we also tell you you didn't do them well. So I want to thank our people for their endorsement of the work that we are doing for them. And I want to thank the media teams in Abia for also covering the program very, very well. We are not resting on our oars. By next Friday, the 24th of October, we will be flagging off the 25-kilometer Umuahia-Ekodepene road. The federal road, but we got approval from the Federal Ministry of Works to do the road for our people. We know some people wanted to scuttle it. They didn't want the approval to be given. And some of them are also from Abia. And the question is, you don't want the road that passes your father's house to be built. Then where lies your patriotism? But thank God we were able to get the approval. And we have awarded the road, and we will flag it off on Friday next week. We will also join the 13.1 kilometer Oriamo-Saka ring road with the flag off. So both of them will be flagged off on Friday. Beyond those, we also have awarded the 9.3 kilometer Inhechi-Owa ring road. We also awarded the 4.9 kilometer Isieketa Mba Itungwa Mbedala road in Isialangwa South. We also awarded the 3.7 kilometer Ogidi Omuala Eziamantega road in Isialangwa North. All those will also be flagged off any moment from now. There are a whole lot of other things that we can talk about, but I want to yield the floor to all of you who are part of this chat today so that we can also hear from you. So once again, thank you for joining. I'll turn the microphone to the anchors so that they can take questions, and we'll continue with the chat the way we always do. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Moses Ben and Chinwe Ogele.
Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Abia State, Dr. Alex Otti. Thank you so much for bringing the people of Abia State up to speed with your major strides, providing clarity on policies and programs of your administration. As you all know, this monthly media parley is a no-holds-barred conversation. Very shortly, we'll be providing you the platform to put up your questions and concerns to the Executive Governor of Abia State. And let us also bring it to your notice that whenever the microphone gets to you, please be strict with your question. We all know the Executive Governor of Abia State. Eulogizing him and wasting of our time will not be proper. Go straight to your point, put up your questions, and expect clarity from the Executive Governor of Abia State. Also to remind you, we are streaming live on BCA 88.1 FM, Flow 94.9 FM, Family Love 99.9 FM, Ayimba 94.5 FM, Magic 102.9 FM.
Also on Vision Africa 104.1 FM, Real FM 99.1 FM, Sun FM 91.3 Iberi, Sun FM 91.9 Aba, Zik FM 96.3, Spain 95.3 FM, Rapid 96.5 FM, Pace Theta 103.5 FM, Buzz 89.7 FM, Masters 105.6 FM, and Skills FM 87.7 FM. You can also join all the conversation on YouTube via AFN News and ABN News.
All right, just to correct that aspect of Masters FM so that the managers of that establishment will not be angry, is Masters 105.9 FM. Also, we are streaming live on our online platforms. This evening, we'll begin to entertain questions from...
Sorry, Moses. I forgot to announce the unfortunate departure of one of our major fathers in the state, fathers of faith, Reverend Dr. Otti OFR. And I think it's appropriate for us to stand up for a minute's silence in his honor. May the soul of Reverend Dr. Otti OFR and the souls of other faithfully departed rest in the bosom of the Lord. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Distinguished colleagues, I'd like to inform us that just like Ben has said, Moses has said, we go straight to the questions, and we'll be giving 3 slots for each of the different media platforms, the radio, the TV, the print, and then the online. So today we are going to start with the radio. We'll start with the radio, 3 questions from the radio. Okay. Felix.
Please, the microphone should be taken to Felix. Meanwhile, while you are addressing your question, please go straight to your point, and also know that you have your colleagues to follow up, please.
Okay, sir. Good evening, sir. My name is Felix Abane. I work with Sun 91.9 FM, Aba. My question is this, sir. What is your plan concerning the condition of Obane Modern Market. Because Obane Modern Market, the traders there are struggling to sell their goods because their clients are, patronizing other small businesses around the town. So I don't know if your government has any plan for Obane Market. Thank you, sir.
All right, let's take the next question from Samson Eze of Flow FM.
Sorry, before you go to Samson, I need some clarity on your question. When you say plan, I don't understand. When you say what are our plans?
Sir, do you have any plan to retrofit? Because the structures there, are going down, and those who patronize traders at the Obane Market are not forthcoming, sir.
Thank you, Felix. The governor understands that word enough, retrofitting. Yes, Samson Eze, please. Yeah.
Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Samson Eze, and I represent Flow 94.9 FM in Umuahia. Your Excellency, recently, during the commissioning of the project in Aba, the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Ben Carlo, criticized your administration for not sufficiently acknowledging the increased allocation coming from FARC, which has enabled you to undertake some projects. Few days after that, he also criticized your performance so far, and then he threatened that APC would take over Abia in 2027. It is of good knowledge that both of you have a cordial relationship. So, sir, do you feel disappointed with his outburst? And I think I'm already threatened. Do you feel threatened, sir, by these persistent and repeated threats by Deputy Speaker and his party to dislodge you in 2027? Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. The third question. Okay, we'll take Stanley.
Good evening, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, Market Road by East Aba exists a school, a very important school. It's a school it's called Special Education Resource Center. That school is extremely dilapidated. The kids can't study under that condition. I don't know if that has been brought to your knowledge. Again, there's a library in that particular compound as well, which was read when we were quite young. That library has remained ancient. Nothing has been done, please. The people are saying there's a need for you to bring your touch over there and change the narrative so that those kids can study under a very conducive environment. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We now move to the television. Yes.
All right, no, before we get to...
Oh, sorry, Your Excellency.
Your Excellency, you may now take the floor to address those concerns.
I thought you wanted to answer for me.
No, I can't.
All right, thank you so much. Felix, you have a question about Obane Market. I wanted to be sure that I got it right. And yes, you are very correct. I actually did visit that place during the campaign. And I will find out why we have not started work on it, because I had given instructions. We need to fix that place, not just because of those that are there, but because we want to decongest the Umuahia metropolitan area. And that is the natural place. In fact, while giving that instruction, I had also talked about water, because I know they have water challenges there. So, Chief of Staff, please take note. Let's find out what is happening. I can't say what is happening for now, but I know I've given the instruction. But thank you for bringing it to my attention. Let me take on Stanley's question before coming back to Samson's. Special Education Resource Center and Library. I think somebody had mentioned that, but I'm not too sure what we've done. But again, my people will take note of that so that we can include it in the schools that will receive our touch very shortly, if it is not one of them. Truth be told, over 90% of schools require attention, and we cannot take all of them at the same time. So what we did was to prioritize. There are some that are in very terrible states, so we thought to start with those, but we will come to the rest until we have finished fixing all of them. Samson, thank you for your question about Right Honorable Benjamin Carlo. And you are very correct that we have a good relationship. He's not just the Deputy Speaker, he's actually my younger brother. And our relationship didn't start with politics, but in my previous life. So you will find that this is the second time that he has come out publicly to berate the administration and myself. But I think I want to forgive him. So do I feel threatened? Absolutely no. But then, you know, people are different. I guess what happened was that he was a bit terrified with the kind of, because he was there in Aba, like you rightly mentioned. I think he was terrified with the kind of organic show of love that Aba people showed. And it was just not in Aba, but also in Umuahia. I think it has a few challenges. One of them is what is described as hubris. And closely related to that challenge is also what I will, for want of a better word, describe as information deficiency syndrome. You know, where you are supposed to be in a place where you have information, but you don't have the real information. And I say this because sometimes when I see him describe himself as number 6, I say, okay, maybe there's a change, and I may not know. But according to the Protocol Act or Bill of 2000, the number 6 man should be the Deputy Senate President. But if you take out the Chief Justice of the Federation, then the Deputy Speaker can be number 6. But except if he has changed, I may not know. But that's a little part of the issue. If, as a Deputy Speaker, you want to speak about. And I want to also thank all the people that have responded, because if you notice, the first time he did a video, either earlier in the year or late last year, I was taken up here, and I said I had no response. The only response I gave was that I don't have the anointing to speak about what will happen in 2027, by 2025. And I still maintain that I do not have that anointing. So I have a mandate, and that mandate runs till 2027. So, but if somebody can stand up and say, this is what will happen in 2027, who am I to question him? But there are a few things that I know. I know that power belongs to God. And I know he gives it to who he wills. Those, I can assure you, I know. And like I told them the other day in a church service, I also know about what is written in Lamentations. We say that we should not speak when the Lord has not spoken. I'm saying this because we're all Christians. So it would be sad if somebody comes out and says that the state government receives 38 to 40 billion. Whatever you say should be taken very, very seriously if you are number 6. Okay, so those who know better have shown that we receive just about half of that. And but it's not for me to argue. When you also say that we have spent the APSEED funds, when you were the one that sat to give the approval a few weeks ago. So we should know how some of these things happen. So for me, I think people should focus on the jobs that they have been given. I hear he wants to run for governorship in 2027. That's fine. It is his fundamental human right. Nobody should stop him. But again, we must respect the law. If INEC releases the timetable and says it is the time that campaigns start, if you start campaigning before then, you put yourself in harm's way. You can even be disqualified before the election. So when you gather people and you are telling them you are going to take over the state in 2027, you are campaigning. It's not right. So I will plead with him that if he wants to run election, he should hold his fire. Once INEC blows the whistle, he should go and pick up a form and begin to campaign. It's for Abia people to decide who will be their governor. Okay? So it's also important that the APC is talking about, which has leadership, should know that they are being demarcated in Abia State. But I'll call on our people to still hold their peace and be calm. We have managed in the last 2 years plus to keep this place peaceful. We should continue to maintain the peace. I've had some people around him say, oh, they must take over the state, they will write results. The only advice I have for them is that if they truly want to write results, they should write something else before that time. You know what it is? Their will. Because this is our state. Nobody can intimidate us. But having said that, am I threatened? Absolutely no. Do I bother about that? Absolutely no. But I want us to maintain peace and decorum. Okay? Samson, I don't know if I've answered your question. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Now we'll move over to television and we'll start with DC.
Good evening, Your Excellency. This is 2 years and counting. How has Abia State's IGR improved under your administration? Is there a growth or a decline? What are the sources driving the revenue if there is a growth? And where does the government channel?
From Afia TV.
Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Emmanuel Mazwa. I report for Afia TV. Your Excellency, I was very glad when you mentioned the issue of water, the plans of Abia State, regarding water supply. But there is something urgent. I just returned from Amozara in Umenyeralai, Ben, the local government area. That particular village or community is in their need of water. The only borehole they have is not functional. And when it functions, it comes with substance that looks oily. So they abandoned it for the stream. And when they go to the stream, one of their streams is called Oba, and there's no water. So when I visited there, I saw the village women, because I went there on Afo market day. So the children had gone to school. The women were the ones going there to fetch water. Some of them went there as early as 6 a.m. We got to the stream at 10:30 a.m. They were still there. People who left their homes at 6 a.m. were still there. We made them fighting each other with empty plastic buckets. None. So we were directed to an alternative stream, that one called Wom Wom. There was no access.
Right, Emmanuel.
Now, please ask your question.
Just go straight.
So are you from there?
No, I'm not from there.
What did you go to do there?
I'm a journalist. I am doing a community report. So that's what I do. I go from community to community, highlighting their plights. So in this case, I am asking that government should do something urgent for these people. Meanwhile, while you're doing that, sir, the Opuluku erosion that I mentioned
Emmanuel,
here,
please,
of which you promised,
let's
please
keep it with
remember. Thank you very much, sir.
Please, one question only.
Sorry, Emmanuel, what did you say? I recorded a lie.
Amozara.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Kingsley.
Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Kingsley Onwuka. I report for Rapid TV. Your Excellency, recently, a councillor in Abia State resigned, citing frustration over the lack of direct allocation to local government through the federal account. It was reported that some state governments oppose local government receiving these allocations directly, which undermine grassroots development. My question, sir, this evening is, what is your position on direct allocation to local government? And do you support full financial and administrative autonomy to local government? Thank you, sir.
All right, I guess I can speak now. Okay. All right, so Nena Gabriel, I'm sure you know the answer to the question you asked, which is that the IGR has improved. But you know, just like in every other area, there is something that is called money illusion in economics. Money illusion is when you focus on the nominal value or absolute value of money rather than the relative value or the real value. So if our IGR was 100 naira in 2022, and it has climbed to 300 naira in 2025. When you are looking at absolute value, you think that the IGR has increased 3 times. But then, when you relate the value of money in 2022 with the value of money in 2025, you need to first of all look at the exchange rate. In 2022, it would have been like 400 naira to the dollar. Today it's 1,500 naira to the dollar. So, and then if you look at inflation rate, take an average inflation rate of 20%. So you will find that what that 300 naira can buy for you in 2025 will be less than what your 100 naira could have bought in 2022. So when you look at absolute numbers, we have probably doubled our IGR. But then when you bring in the law of relativity, you'll find that we've not grown. But then I'm not worried about that, given the popular definition of taxes, which a lot of people have come to agree with me, meaning that taxes are government's share of the prosperity it has created amongst its populace. So if you noticed, the first 6 months of this administration, we gave tax holidays because we couldn't rationalize our people living in slums, swimming to get to their shops and their offices on very bad roads and craters, and at the same time putting pressure on them to pay those taxes. So it is just recently that we have convinced ourselves that we have now created some prosperity, and on the basis of that, we believe that we are deserving of the taxes. So you will see that we are not too aggressive with raising taxes, even though we believe that people should pay taxes. We have also seen where people have come to contribute money to this government just to support what it is doing. Money that we never expected that they had. So, I guess I've answered your question. In absolute terms, we have increased revenue. Relative terms, maybe no. Why is it not happening? Because we have not been too aggressive, and we believe that people would want to pay when they see that the government is working. And today, I believe that you will agree, even as a journalist, that this government is working. Now to Emmanuel Mwazwe, I've taken note of your Amozara ally. I must tell you that before now, most of the communities actually didn't have, even the townships. So we are taking them gradually. And I know that we have a big water project for the whole of Alai. And it may be early days, but it will get to Amozara and other parts of Alai and other parts of the state. The whole idea really is that, like it used to happen in those days, people will open their taps in their kitchens and public water will run. That is where we want to take our state back to. Kingsley Onwuka, you talked about Osisioma councillor that resigned. But I know your question is about direct allocation to local governments. Unfortunately, you are asking the wrong person. Because no matter what my opinion is, I'm not in a position to determine whether allocation should go to local government directly or not. But one thing I can tell you is that there is nothing we do as a state government that is not for a local government. All the roads we are doing are tied to some local governments. All the schools are in local governments. All the hospitals are in different local governments. The state is divided into local governments. So if you want to create an autonomy in the strictest sense, then that means the state can just fold its arms and let the local governments handle their problem. But you know it cannot work. It definitely cannot work. I'm aware that some local governments cannot even pay salaries of their traditional rulers, their school teachers, their primary health care workers, and other workers. If they manage to pay those salaries, they will have nothing. So there must be a synergy between the local governments and the state government. So if somebody is not happy with what is happening in his local government and he chooses to resign, what can I do about it? But what is my opinion? I believe that there must be synergy. I believe that there are a lot of things that the state must undertake for effective functioning of local government. Just interestingly, yesterday, I was looking at the traditional rulers in the different local governments. And I found that one local government, I think that was Bende, has more traditional rulers than the whole of Abia South put together. Aba South has like 13. Aba North has maybe 16. When you put all of them together, there are still fewer than one local government in Bende. So that is the reality. So you must find a way to balance some of these things. Otherwise, you have a system that will not work. Kingsley, did I answer your question? Thank you. Okay, Fatih.
Okay, yeah. We now move to online, 3 slots. Online. Please, can I see your hands?
Right, promise.
Okay, PUO.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. And good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Promise Ozoma Okoro PUO. Your Excellency, my people, the people of Alai, sense their appreciation over your intervention in the erosion gully, which almost gave us heart attack. But your intervention on that road have brought succor and hope to our people. So they sent in their greeting. Your Excellency, my question is about the Abia Medical City project. Your Excellency, you recall that sometime in May this year, your administration announced plans to establish the $1.3 billion medical city, which will be aimed at reducing Nigerian reliance on foreign medical tourism. Your Excellency, that project on that announcement was scheduled to be flagged up by Mr. President, but he was not within the state at that time. A few weeks ago, he sent a representative to commission some projects, about 8 rows, which you have also listed during this media chat. But, Your Excellency, nothing was heard about that medical city. So I want to ask, has it been paused, or are there plans, or is work currently ongoing in that site? Thank you, sir.
Right, we are still taking questions from online media. All right, Kingsley Laloze.
No, Ifeanyi Okali has the microphone. Right. Yeah.
Maybe after Ifeanyi, Kingsley takes over.
Good evening, His Excellency. Your Excellency, sorry. My name is Ifeanyi Okali for ABN TV and radio. Your Excellency, while we appreciate your administration efforts in addressing outstanding salary arrears inherited from the past government, teachers under ASUPEB in Ohafia local government area, particularly those in junior secondary schools, are still owed 9 months salaries arrears. Reportedly, Your Excellency, accumulated by the past government. We understand that other local government areas have received and settled. Could you please clarify why Ohafia teachers are yet to receive their payment, and when can they expect their pay? Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Who's the next person? Okay.
Your Excellency, good evening. My name is Emenike Irebu for the All Facts newspaper. Your Excellency, I want to raise an issue of urgent intervention. This is relating to vigilantes, the need to tackle excess activities of some vigilante. In a community in Ikuano called Amango, in Uboro, a lady, Mrs. Onyekachi Ikoku, is alleging that the vigilante came to her home around 5 a.m., took her son, and since that day till now, she has not been able to see the son. This happened on the 22nd of September last month. She reported the issue in our office, and I said, I'm going to raise this issue so that we could see how we can look into it. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much. Over to the Governor, sir.
All right, thank you so much. Let me start with the last one, Emenike Irebu. Thank you for bringing this matter up. Just getting to hear about it for the first time. And please, as an advisory, when a matter like this gets to your knowledge, please escalate it immediately, because you don't need to wait for monthly media chat. So please, Commissioner of Police, SA Security, everybody should know so that we can deal with it immediately. It's even not impossible that the people that came to her are not vigilantes. They may be disguised. Some people wear police or army uniform, and they are criminals. So we have taken note of this, and I would like the SA security to engage further with you so that you can direct them. In fact, they're all seated here. So they will engage further with you to get more details so that we can tackle that. I'm just sensing that they may not be vigilantes. If they came and collected the son and up till today, nothing has happened. They may just be kidnappers. Ifeanyi or Kali, this your allegation is very strange. I'm not sure that we are aware of it. Everybody involved in education, they're all shaking their heads. But then, that notwithstanding, we will take it on board and have it investigated. And the Special Advisor, Media and Publicity, please engage with the Accountant General, the Education Ministry, and all that involved, and also give feedback, please. PUO, thank you for your kind comments about the arrest of the erosion site in Alai. The Abia Medical City is not terminated. What has happened is that when reviewing the contents of the agreement, financial agreement, I came across some clauses that weren't acceptable to the state government. And I intervened and returned it. So the negotiation has started again, and I can assure you, even last week we had a call that I was personally involved in. We cannot do anything that will shortchange our people. And that is the reason why the offer is still there. The funds are sitting in the bank. But then there are some gray areas that we must tidy up before we hit the ground running. So that's why there is a little delay in the Medical City project. I guess that's about it. Over to you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Now to the print. Please, we have less than 35 minutes to end this program, and I implore you to go straight to your question. Make it succinct. Okay, Sonny Wanko.
Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Sonny Wanko, and I represent the Nation newspaper. Sir, recently we've witnessed in Southeast, especially the defection of the Governor of Abia State to the APC, and most recently, a brother governor from Bayelsa State equally defected to the APC. So when this, the news of their defections, became public knowledge, a lot of Abians were a little bit perplexed because they do not know where their dear governor will be headed to in 2027. And they are asking us, but since we don't have that answer to their questions, so this is our opportunity for us to ask you and for you to tell Abians when you are defecting to the APC. Thank you, sir.
Sonny just spoke as if the governor had told him that he will be defecting any moment.
Yes, please.
All right, Steve of Vanguard.
I already have a microphone. Recognize me, please. Yeah.
We are coming to you. Please bring the microphone to Steve.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. I remain Steve Oko of Vanguard Newspapers. Your Excellency, I remember that some time ago, at the peak of insecurity in Abia State, you moved down to Umunochi local government area, where we could call the epicenter of that insecurity, and we actually dealt with it. And in the process of your action, you began to fence the cattle market, and tongues began to wag. A lot of people felt you were against and after them. And then in the north, groups began to address press conferences threatening Armageddon. And I recall that when Senator T.A. Oji was the governor of Abia State, there was an issue that involved, I think, traders in Aba, and the delegation of northern governors and the elite stormed the government house here in Omahia and lent their voice and warned the state. Sir, we observed with serious appallment 2 weeks ago, demolition going on in Lagos. And those demolitions affected businesses and property of Ndi Igbo, including the Abia. Up to now, Your Excellency, the Southeast governors are yet to come up with a statement or visit to Ndi Igbo in Lagos. Now my question is, what plans do you have to resettle the affected traders who are from Abia State so that they will not continue to suffer? And then by way of information, Your Excellency, this is not a question, information. Your Excellency, Omahia residents can no longer pay their electricity bill. People got as high as 50,000 naira for the last, for September bill. Are you going to intervene or allow them?
That's a question.
Oh,
thank
sorry.
you.
Steve,
the next person, give her a Maugu.
Your Excellency, good evening. I'm Emmanuel Ugumogu of this day newspaper. Your Excellency, it must have taken a very hard bargain on the part of your government to convince Interstate Electricity, the parent company of EEDC, to part with 60% equity of the assets in Omahia Ring-Fenced area. So how much did you offer them to convince them? Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Ibako.
Okay.
Hello,
Sorry.
please.
Okay.
The print has 5 slots.
Okay.
For today.
Thank you.
Yeah.
My name is Ibako of the New Telegraph. And before my question, I have observations. Number one is the promise of welfare to the elderly people by the government. We are yet to see that. The other one is the reactivation of water, projects, Omahia and Abubakar and all that. We are also yet to see that. And then the Dig One state, that's the internet for the state as a whole. We were also promised that so that by now we expect that even in the comfort of our homes, we can switch on to the internet, but we are yet to see that as well. But my question here is that the airport project, penultimate chart, the governor said the place or the area acquired around Omahia, that area, originally for this, was discovered to have been built up. maybe whatever. So I was surprised. Is it possible for people, human beings, individuals, to encroach into a land acquired for a purpose, owned by government, and build it up with no consequence, and the government will just leave and get another location for a project like airport, and the people there have not stopped complaining or agitating. The other time, just last week,
Thank you.
Eh?
Thank you. You've asked your question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Please, let's re-echo this. Once you get the microphone, go straight to the question to save our time.
Give to Nan.
Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Leonard Okache of News Agency of Nigeria. Your Excellency, I wish to commend you for your efforts in different areas, what you have done in infrastructural development in the state. But, Your Excellency, I'm worried about the railway in Umuahia. The railway station in Umuahia is in a sorry state. And I know that work has been done from Port Harcourt to Aba. But from Aba to Umuahia, we've not seen any serious thing done. The other time I visited the place, even the workers there, they are lamenting. They are asking, where will they see the kind of intervention that the governor has done in other areas? Where would they experience that in their own
So
side?
what is your own question?
My question is about, is there any plan for intervention for the railway system?
Thank you
I
very
know
much.
it is a federal decision.
I believe your question is noted. Your Excellency, you may now address those issues.
All right. All right. Leonard. He represents the News Agency of Nigeria, which is a federal establishment. And as the person that is closest to the federal here, I appeal to you to appeal to the federal government to intervene and get the rail from Aba to Umuahia and beyond. I hope you will do that. Okay. I had actually intervened earlier. I'm sure if you followed, the MD of Nigerian Railway Corporation visited me and had actually promised that by now the new line would have passed Abia State, but it hasn't happened. And the last time I checked, I think there is paucity of funding because CCECC, which is the contractor, is also a contractor working in the state. So until they have funding, I'm not too sure that much will happen in that area. Ibaku, your question is about the Abia Airport. And I think what you got wrong is that those proposed locations were neither acquired nor was compensation paid. So if the places were not acquired and no compensation, they just remained proposed locations. So it's not that they had been acquired and people moved in. No, they were not acquired. Some of the observations you made, the internet connectivity work is still going on with some of the vendors, and the major one from WIOC, I think, will be flagged off in Aba on the 29th day of this month. That took a little bit of time to arrange the funding, but everything is ready to go now. It's not It's not like what you get into the market and buy and put in your pocket and go home. No. A lot goes into it. Emmanuel, how much did we offer EEDC? It's a lot of money. And, but whatever be the cost, we believe is worth it. And we are dealing with the best advisors and experts. So the interesting thing is also that have a way to raise the money. So don't panic. Steve Oko, your comment about demolition of shops in Lagos is in order. We are engaging with our leaders, and interestingly, some of the unions, not just in Lagos but elsewhere, putting themselves together. Lands have been allocated for them to build their shops in Abia. And very soon, you will see those shops springing up. My attitude on some of these things is to engage without so much noise in the media space. I get more results than engaging on the media. Sometimes when you get on the media, it's just showmanship. If you need results, you engage offline. So some of the things that we have done are not things that we want to start talking about here. Sonny Wankwo was asking when I'm going to defect. Sonny, I think I would delegate you to go and defect on my behalf. Since you seem to be very certain. And because you work for this day, for the nation, right? So go and clear the way. I thought I had answered this question before to say I'm not defecting. But Sonny wants to force me to defect. And I've now delegated him to go and defect on my behalf. Or are you already there? Waiting to receive me? You wait for a long time. All right. So, well, you know, people have their individual opinions. Their circumstances are different. So you don't just take a decision because somebody else has taken a decision. You know about Oke and Ngwere. Ngwere ma mmiri, Oke soro ya ma mmiri ko Ngwere, ọ ga-akọ Oke. So we are not people who do things because other people are doing them. There must be sufficient legitimate argument to do a particular thing. That's what I believe in. So anytime you come with superior argument on why I should defect, mark the words, superior argument. So Sonny, when you are ready with superior arguments, then we can now give you a date. But for now, if it is because my brother governors in Enugu, and you said Bayelsa, I thought Bayelsa left PDP. Has he joined APC? Has he joined? Okay, he's on the, okay, he, you know, Sonny has a way of predicting who is going somewhere. All right, so that would be my response to you, Sonny. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, I have a question. Can I ask? Before we read the SMS, please, it's a very short one. Okay, sometime last year, you did promise to build a secondary school for the School of Deaf and Dumb at Ibeku Central School. And, you know, that project you promised would have commenced or maybe completed in September last year. But up till now, nothing has happened. I'm wondering if the governor can, now that upgrades are going on in schools, you know, accommodate that plan and the scheme so that, because the students go to, when they finish primary school, they now travel to Enugu or Imo to attend secondary school. Thank you, Excellency.
Okay, that's good. Thank you for bringing it to my attention. What has happened? Didn't we do it? Okay, please, can you take it up? I know I gave that instruction. And so please take it up. Huh? Okay, and I need to feedback on what has happened. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. And now we'll go to the SMS and WhatsApp messages.
All right, the number for you to participate in this October edition of Governor Alex Otti Speaks to Abians. Of course, you can do that through 0907 462 1067. Again, 0907 462 1067. And also to remind us and our listener out there that we are streaming live on BCA 88.1 FM, Flow 94.9 FM, Family Love 99.9 FM, Ayimba 93.5 FM, Magic 102.9 FM, Vision Africa 104.1 FM, Real FM 99.1 FM, Sun FM 91.3 Ibere.
Sun FM 91.9 Aba, Zik FM 96.3, Spin 95.3 FM, Rapid 96.5 FM, Peseta 103.5 FM, Buzz 89.7 FM, Masters
105.9 FM.
And Skills FM 87.7 FM. Okay, Moses, I think you should take the first question. Okay, so the first question is from Ezenwoke Egu. And it says, good evening, Your Excellency, sir. You have been silent on Parry's answer when questions are asked on the payment of gratuity to retired civil servants. My question is, when will your government begin payment of gratuity? And then the next one is from Kenneth Ubani. And he says, I commend Your Excellency for the reconstruction and equipping of primary health centers across the state. Your Excellency, may I remind you, sir, during your April media parley, I called your attention to the road to Amudo Rehabilitation Center at Itumbuzo, and you stated that the road is in the 2025 state budget, and you promised that the road will be awarded for construction. However, there is no sign of work on the road yet. Your Excellency, kindly help us to construct the road before the next rainy season begins in 2026. Moses, can you take the next one?
All right, this question is from Mr. Owalaka. Owalaka. Pardon me, please. As a small and medium enterprise owner currently operating outside my home region, I am considering bringing my business operations back home to contribute to local economic growth and job creation. However, before making such a move, I would like to know what specific support plans or incentives the government has in place for SMEs like ours, particularly in areas of funding, infrastructure, tax relief, and business development support to encourage business relocation and sustainability. Right, the next question is coming from Elijah Udenwa. the president of Radio Fans Association. My question is, what plan do you have to reduce the housing challenges here in Aba? I want to know your plan towards moving them to other areas in order to decongest Aba Metropolitan.
Yes. Housing challenges for people
in Aba.
In Aba. It says, what plan do you have to reduce the housing challenges here in Aba? I want to know your plan towards moving them to other areas in order to decongest Aba metropolitan. Yeah, metropolitan. Metropolitan. Okay. Sorry, maybe while you take it at once, there's also a request in Aba to construct a flyover at Milverton Junction to decongest the traffic there. Yes. I don't know. That's
Your Excellency, we'll take this one at once. It appears it will be interesting
Please,
for you
can we have some quiet?
To know about this. Retirees, Ifeanyi. Yes, in Uma here. Your Excellency, please, this is to bring to your attention that retirees in the Hospital Management Board have not been paid their salary arrears. Please, what do we do at this point after we must have sent letters to different offices, sir?
All right, thank you very much. If retirees in the Hospital Management Board, it's strange. Except if there are problems with documentation. Is he fine a retiree? Would you know from his message?
Yes, sir.
Is a retiree?
The retiree.
Okay, so please let's have his number, and so that somebody can contact him and find out. For him not to be paid, that means there is a problem. Either he hasn't completed his documentation, or he wasn't verified, or that his account details are wrong. Those are the only things I can easily fathom out. Otherwise, we have paid everyone. So he should please, if he's talking about himself, get in touch with the Honorable Commissioner for Health is not here, but who can take that up? So Special Advisor, Media and Publicity, please, can you take that up? Okay, thank you so much. Udenwa housing challenges in Aba, reducing it and moving people out and all that. No, the question didn't quite add up, and that's why I asked that it be repeated. I guess what the question should be about will be, are we thinking of housing estates in the outskirts of Aba? If that's the question, yes, we are. We are at an advanced stage. There are a few housing estates that we intend to do. It takes a little bit of time, but then we are at the final stages, and by the time we do groundbreaking, Udenwa and others who are interested will be able to benefit. Mr. Owalaka, your SME that is somewhere that you didn't mention, you want to bring it back to Abia. Please do that as quickly as you can. The incentives are already there. The government may not be involved directly in funding because there are institutions that deal with that from the private sector. But in terms of infrastructure and tax reliefs, they are already there. So if you were delaying, please don't delay. People are already doing that, relocating their businesses. Kenneth Mubani, thank you for your positive comment about the primary health care centers. The Amudo Rehabilitation Center and the road to that center, I believe I had given instructions for it to be awarded. I would find out from the Honorable Commissioner for Works where they are on that, but I know I've given that instruction. As a work said, we have been parrying the issue of gratuity payments. That's not correct. What we have done is in the public domain. Now, of course, as a worker should be aware of the earlier disagreement that eventually led to the setting up of a committee which is working on it. That committee comprises the Nigerian Union of Pensioners at the national level, the Commissioner for Labor and Productivity, the SSA on Labor and Productivity, the Chief Strategy Officer of the government, and the Accountant General of the state. And the last time I checked, they are still working on the numbers. I think what they have reported is that the data from the local government is so messed up, so they have to clean them up so that we know how much we are even talking about before we talk about how to defray it. So the ball is in the court of the committee, and I'm happy to receive their report. We are dodging the issue of gratuity payments. Please think again. We are not doing that. If we say we will do something, we will do it. And the one that we will not do, we are also not afraid to say we will not do it. So this one, we have accepted that we will look at it again, and we have opened the doors so that we can look at it again. That will be my response. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for the responses you've given tonight. And before we wrap it up, would like to thank and appreciate all our media partners, BCA 88.1 FM, Flow 94.9 FM, Family Love 99.9 FM, Enyimba 93.5 FM, Magic 102.29 FM, I beg your pardon, Vision Africa 104.1 FM, Real FM 99.1 FM, Sun FM 91.3 Iberi, Sun FM 91.9 Aba, Zik FM 96.3, Spain 95.3 FM, Rapid 96.5 FM, Peseta 103.5 FM, Buzz 89.7 FM, Masters 105.9 FM, Skills 87.7 FM, and Dawn 103.7 FM. Also, the online partners, Abian News and AFN News, and of course, all other media platforms that joined to bring this event to the public. We thank you so much, and let's have a lovely evening, even as we meet next month. My name is Chinwe Ugili.
My name is Moses.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we draw the curtain on this edition, may I once again yield the microphone to His Excellency for his closing remarks.
All right, thank you so much. I want to use this opportunity to thank everyone who participated in the October media chat this evening. I want to thank you for your questions. Thank you for participating. Thank you for believing in this government which you installed. I want to reassure our people that this government will continue to work for them, irrespective of whose ox is God. A few people may not like that we are serving them, serving our people, where those ones are in the tiny minority. The greater majority of our people are being served, and that is what is important to us. I want to also, just before I came here, somebody from Abuja forwarded me a video of something that happened yesterday in Owerri. I think it's Owerri, right? Where our principals had a program with other states the ANCOPS, that's All Nigeria Conference of Principals of Schools, of Secondary Schools. And in their March past, they were celebrating all of you and this government to the charging of everyone else. It was quite a beautiful sight to behold that these people, without any prompting, without any arrangement, went to celebrate all of us who are Abians. And it made me very proud. I want to use this opportunity to thank all of them and encourage them to continue to do what they are doing. We are very proud of them. We are very proud of our teachers. We will continue to make life easier for them. So once again, I want to assure our people that where we have gotten to in this government now is trying to support our young people, to give them the skills they require for the 21st century. And that's why we are training them in technology, training them in leadership, and keeping them to compete because the world has changed. And we want to get to that level where people can sit here and apply and get jobs to work for global companies like Amazon, like Microsoft, like Google, and the rest of them. And it's possible. So we want to ensure that our people are properly trained and properly equipped. The advantage we have here is that our people are very smart, very skilled, very entrepreneurial. So all they require is the enabling environment, and they would do very well. So if you have young ones around you, please try and encourage them because they are the future. And we must bequeath a future that is a lot better than the present day that we have created. So having said that, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for this evening, and I pray that by the time we meet again, that all of you will also be here in good health and happiness. Thank you so much.
The national anthem, please.